it's me, Channel Dog, how you doing? So a little while ago, a Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition was found on a Korean gaming registration website, and I made a little video on that. On one hand, I was kind of excited to see what could be done with Sonic Frontiers if they were to revisit the project. On the other, I was a little bit perturbed by the idea that we basically bought a prototype and that the true version might be coming out later. That being said, I didn't rule out that this could just be a Switch 2 edition of the game. Well, the store so gamely listed Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition, and at €50, so we have some idea of what to expect from the price tag. However, the only listing of Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition is for the Switch 2. I think it's safe to say that they're not necessarily remaking or remastering Sonic Frontiers. I think what's actually happening here is just that they are naming the Switch 2 editions Definitive Editions. You'll probably get some of the tat that you get in the Digital Deluxe Edition. Gotta say, I do appreciate that Sonic Frontiers didn't wall a whole bunch of cool stuff off behind Digital Deluxe, but I'm guessing those skill tokens are probably going to be the big reward for the Definitive Edition. At the same time, Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition may not even be the final title of the release, as back in early 2021, this same website listed a Sonic Collection. However, it wasn't referred to as Sonic Origins, just Sonic Collection. But this may well be the final name of the product, as they did list Sonic Colors Ultimate as well as just Sonic Colors Ultimate. So based on the fact that it has only been listed as a Switch 2 edition for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is just, the Switch 2 edition of the game. I do think, however, there should be an upgrade path for the Nintendo Switch 1 owners of the game. I just think it's only fair, I don't like the idea of, purchasing it twice, as though I didn't, purchase it 3 times when it first came out. I don't really regret it, though. I do regret buying Sonic Superstars twice, though. We also have a release date, but this could, of course, just be a placeholder. There's no saying that this is definitely the case. The release date being June 2026, so it could coincide with Sonic's anniversary. I do wonder if there will be any exclusive content, though, or if this is literally just a glorified upgrade pass. And I will say, if it is just that, then I think calling it Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition it's kind of loaded, but I also get it from a marketing standpoint. Either way, it's not something I'm necessarily going to be picking up because I don't have a Switch 2, and I have no idea when I would expect to get a Switch 2. But there you go, guys. For now, it seems like we do have our answer as to what this is going to be. It was the more realistic of the two options. That said, I wouldn't rule out that I would like to see Sonic Frontiers get revisited in the future. It just has to be after a little bit of time. Let us digest the original version, and I think it needs to come with a new creative vision. Something akin to Sonic Frontiers Revisited would be perfect. But right now, really, I don't want them to waste much more time going back to Sonic Frontiers. I think it's time to see that next mainline Sonic game, which I think we're going to see next year. But for now, that seemingly wraps up the story on Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition. If there's any more interesting updates, or it turns out I'm wrong later on, I will let you know. Thanks for watching, goobers.